Hey, it's Ryan from McCarthy Music School, and today I have something really great I want to show you. I'm going to teach you the song Great Are You Lord by All Sons and Daughters, but I'm going to show it to you using the three-note worship piano system. And that's a way to play modern worship songs on the piano using only three notes at a time. It's very easy to start out, but it actually sounds very polished and very professional. And it's wonderful if you're just starting out getting into playing modern worship piano, or if maybe you're a classically trained piano player and you're just starting out learning to read chord charts and being able to play modern worship with your church worship team. This is a great place to start out. So that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm also going to, by the end of the video, show you some ways to kind of take it to the next level, play more than just three notes, so you can kind of get that next level of sophistication and development with this system. But we're just going to start out nice and easy, just three notes at a time. All right, it's time to do it. Let's dive in. So with the three-note worship piano system, you're just going to be playing three notes at a time. So I'm going to explain that a little bit further up front here, and then we'll get into the actual song, Great Are You Lord. So with the three-note worship piano system, the left hand is always going to be playing the root of the chord. And the root note of the chord is the note that the chord is named after. So I have three examples on the screen: C, E minor, and D. So a C chord, or a C major chord is another way you could say that. The root note is a C. Same thing with E minor. E minor, the root note is an E, so it's the note that the chord is named after. And a D major chord, the root is a D. So whatever the letter name that the chord is named after, whether it's a major, a minor, major 7, minor 7, whatever kind of chord it is, that root, the letter name that the note chord is named after, that is going to be what you play with the left hand. So if it's a C chord, you're going to be playing a C. If it's an E minor, you're going to be playing an E. And if it's a D, you're going to be playing a D, and so on. Now the right hand is going to be playing the scale steps 1 and 5 of whatever key you're in. So let me explain that. So Great Are You Lord, we are going to be playing it in the key of G. So in the key of G, there is, along with the key of G, a G major scale. And it has these notes: G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then G again on the top. So those are the notes of the G major scale. So I'm going to be playing the first note, G, and the fifth note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, D. So this whole song, I'm going to be playing G and D. Those are scale steps 1 and 5 in the key of G. Now, if you're playing another song or in another key, you will want to find out what key that song is in and what the major scale is for that song, and play the scale notes 1 and 5 in that key. But in this case, we are going to be in the key of G. So I'm going to be playing G and D with my right hand, just like that, with my thumb and with my pinky, just like that. Now, just a word about the rhythm of Great Are You Lord. Great Are You Lord is in the time signature of 6/8, and that means that there are 6 counts per measure, or 6 eighth note counts per measure. And if that doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. Just know that we are going to be counting to 6 every measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like that. In fact, in this song, the left hand is going to be playing a bass note every 6 counts. So let's dive in. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's the first verse: You give life, you are love. And it starts on a C chord. You give life, you are love. So there's E minor, so I'm going to be playing an E, which is the root of that chord. You bring light on light. It's a D chord, so I'm going to step down to a D note. Light to the darkness, and I have another D over darkness to remind you to play that D again. So now let me show you when I say we're going to be playing the bass note every 6 counts. Let me play that first line again, and this time I'm going to play the chords, but I'm going to count it. So it's going to sound like this: You give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. E minor 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. D 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. D 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So through this whole song, every chord symbol you see, you're going to be playing it for 6 counts. So I'm going to play through this whole verse here and sing it and just play that left hand bass pattern, starting with the C. Here we go. You give life, you are love, 2, 3, 4. You bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Now C chord, up to an E. Great are you, Lord. D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So every chord symbol represents a chord that you're going to be playing for 6 counts. And so you'll always play that root note, whether it's a C or an E or a D, all the way through this verse. Now with the right hand, like I said previously, I'm going to be playing just a G and a D. But with the right hand, I'm going to be playing it every 3 counts. So it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So every 3 counts, I'm going to hit the right hand notes there. So let's try it all together here, both right hand and left hand. You give life, 2, 3, 4. You are love. You bring light to the darkness. You give hope. You restore every heart that is broken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great are you, Lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a little tricky, and that's kind of the challenge of playing contemporary worship music, is not only knowing which notes to play, but kind of feeling that rhythm as you play it. So even as I'm singing, I'm feeling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's nice to play with a drummer because then the drummer's kind of keeping that beat and you can kind of feel it along with the drummer. But here we have a good challenge of just playing just piano, because I know that's the situation a lot of you are in, or just playing piano for yourself or for your family or for your small group, that kind of situation. So let me play one more time through this verse, but this time I'll count it so you can kind of really see what I'm doing with the counting as I sing it. So this is kind of what my mind is doing even as I'm singing it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You give light. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. You give hope. 2, 3, 4. You restore. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great are you, Lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's the first verse. Left hand is playing those root notes. The letter, the note that is the letter name of the chord, and the right hand is just playing scale steps 1 and 5 in the key of G. Let's take a look at the chorus now. Now, this song is great because it uses the same chords for both the verse and the chorus. So I'm just going to continue with that same pattern here. It's your breath, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, lungs, 2, 3, 4. So we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise to you only. C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. E minor, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I guess another D. D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have that on there. If I had this printed out in front of me, I would just write another D on there. So that is the pattern of what's happening with both the verse and the chorus. Left hand is playing those root notes. The right hand is playing scale steps 1 and 5 in whatever key we're in. And in this case, we're in the key of G. So I'm playing a G and a D. And this is a wonderful pattern to just get to learn just starting out playing worship songs. I know it can be very complicated to learn. There's a lot of chords. There's a lot of things about chord symbols to learn. And I actually created a free PDF guide that will help you to learn chords better, help you learn how to make the most popular kinds of chords in worship. And that is called the Quick Start Chord Guide. And it has step-by-step instructions for how to find the root note of a chord, how to count up each of the notes that's going to be built upon that root note, how to make major chords, minor 7 chords. It's going to really help you kind of start to begin your journey of learning how to make chords, how to play worship chord style music. And you can find it completely for free at mccarthymusicschool.com/guide. So go there, download it for free, check it out. In fact, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comment in this video. Let me know if you found it helpful or not helpful. And let me know if the things I'm telling you today, if they make any sense at all, or if I'm missing something. Sometimes, when I teach, I forget some of the details. So please let me know if I forgot anything or if I'm missing anything or if there's a way that I can make this teaching better. Let's go to the bridge now. The bridge is different. It has a totally different chord progression. We go to G here. So my left hand's going to be playing a G note, and I'm going to say, all the earth will shout your praise, our hearts. Now here's an A minor 7. So I'm just going to keep that same G and D in the right hand. My left hand's going to move up to A now, which is the root note of A minor 7. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing, great are you, Lord. G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the earth will shout your praise. Our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great are you. Now that takes us back to the chorus. So now here's where I'm going to kind of show you the next steps of kind of how to take this to the next level. So there's 2 things you can really do. One is with your left hand, instead of just playing one note at a time like we were, it's your breath in our lungs, right? Just one note. You can actually play 2 octaves worth of those bass notes. So an octave is the distance from one C to another C, or one note to the next note, eight notes away from it. So instead of playing just one C, I'll play 2 Cs like this with my thumb and my pinky. Then for the E minor, I'll move up to E. And then for the D, I'll move down to D. Now this can be a little bit of a challenge. You'll want to practice this just lots by itself, just with your left hand, nice and slow, just getting used to moving your hand around, playing 2 notes at a time. And if your hand is too small for that, don't worry, that's fine. Kind of a shortcut, or I should say not a shortcut, but an alternative is, instead of just playing, if you can't quite get both notes, just play the note that's down the octave. So just play one single note, but play it down here. That'll still give a bigger sound if you want to kind of have a big final chorus. But for right now, I'm going to be playing 2 octaves worth of C, E, and D. And that sounds like this. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. So that's one thing you can do with the left hand. With the right hand, what you can do is take either, in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom note, G, and instead of just playing it down here, I'm also going to be playing it up here. So once again, 2 octaves worth of Gs, but I'm also going to keep that D in the center with my index finger, my number 2 finger. So my thumb is on G, my index is on D, and my pinky is on G. So now I have 3 notes going on in the right hand. Once again, this is a little bit bigger, a little bit more complicated. Just take it nice and slow. Keep your hand nice and relaxed. So I'm going to try both those things. I'm going to play 3 notes with my right hand and 2 notes with my left hand, but it's still just based on the G and the D and the single bass note. It's still just based on that. I'm just kind of adding an additional copy, if you will, of those notes. So that'll sound like this. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. And the other thing you can do is with the right hand, instead of taking that bottom note and adding it up the octave, you can actually take the top note, the 5th note of the scale. If you remember this, the 1 note and the 5th note, take that and move it down an octave. So down here. So instead of being G, D, G, I'm going to be playing D, G, D. Now here we're kind of starting to encroach a little bit on the left-hand territory, so I'm actually going to move that whole structure up 1 octave. So here I'm going to have D, G, and D. Still just based around playing a D and a G, but this time with 2 copies of the D. Let's see what that sounds like. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. And you can experiment with playing different combinations, playing the 3 notes moving up, the 3 notes moving down, playing 2 notes at a time, your thumb by itself. This is where you can kind of really get creative. Let's see what we can do here. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, E minor. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there you have it. Great Are You Lord in the key of G using the 3-note worship piano system. Let me know how this is working for you and if I can help you understand it better, if I can give you any more pointers, if there's anything that really was great for you, that really kind of was like a light bulb moment, or anything in this teaching that really encouraged you, or if there's anything that you're still struggling with, let me know in the comments, and I will try to address it in either in the comments or in a future video. Otherwise, definitely find that quick start chord guide at mccarthymusicschool.com/guide. It will really be a help to you, and it's totally free. Otherwise, thanks for watching today, and I will see you again in the next video.